Hi everyone, this is your interviewer Farah and I'm here at the CXO 2.0 conference Dubai and I have with me Simone. Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Farah. Hello, everyone. I'm Simone Dongu.
Could you please tell us a bit more about yourself and your organization?
Absolutely. Today I'm representing the Dongu Initiative, which is a holding project that encompasses several businesses, including business consulting, digital strategy, email marketing, and soon real estate in the luxury segment.
I'd like to say congratulations for the Leadership Excellence Award. Can you tell us how it felt to receive that recognition?
Okay, that is a long story. I will try to keep that as short as possible. And at some point I have been contacted by the team of the CXO conference because after a huge amount of time spent being the mastermind behind several other projects in my country, after the accidents that happened in the 2020 and 23, plenty has changed even in my business. And so I noticed that I had to do something new, completely new. And that was when I decided, okay, fine, instead of being the mastermind behind the scenes, what about getting in the spotlight?
Right.
So that was February 2024. And in less than 5 months, I would say, I made so many ripples with my public activities. So public speaking, writing essays for the scientific research in artificial intelligence for the university, books, conventions, conferences, and whatnot. And I made enough ripples that I've been noticed by you guys at the CXO conference.
Right.
So you contacted me, and after some discussion and exchange, I was selected to win this award. And that was an extremely great honor, I must be honest.
We're delighted to have you here with us today. Now, I'd like to ask you, you specialize in strategy, but you also have a solid background in psychology. How is that?
Okay, that is another long story that we will try to keep you short. My apologies for that.
No
so, during my career, I faced clearly some downfalls.
Yes.
Okay, and after a while, I was trying to figure out why was that happening. At some point, I was questioning myself, saying, okay, fine, why this is not working? It has to have to be with me or with them. And I tried to seek counseling with friends that were competent in different areas, because I believe that is what you should do when you are kind of lost. You ask and seek for guidance for people that is more competent than you in different areas. And they say, at some point I met a professor in psychology, and this person said, okay, why don't you try studying psychology? Because probably it will help you a lot. He was right, and I enrolled in a course at university in 2008. Okay. But that didn't work well because it wasn't giving me the necessary feedback and knowledge that I needed. So a few years later, I switched with a course in work psychology at the University of Western Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And that is when things started to click, because at some point I entered the space of the Jungian and Adlerian psychology.
Right.
So the modeling and psychological profiling. So everyone has a different way of handling reality and of behaving. And that is not to be searched anywhere else but inside yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it means that if it is something that change, and if it is something that has a constant, it can be measured.
Right.
And that is where psychological profiles come into the picture. So, of course, they don't need to be taken to the extreme that you start judging people based on their profile. It is not meant to be that. It is a guideline of a generic preference that that person has when behaving behind certain triggers. That helped a lot because I started getting all profiles from friends, family, business partners, investors, and whatnot. And I finally started to find a way to communicate with them
Yeah.
in the right way. And the right way is the way they can understand better.
Right.
And that was awesome. It produces amazing result. It is
I'm
something
sure.
I suggest everyone do. So stand-up psychology.
I absolutely love that you studied psychology just to be able to know how to deal with people. That's amazing. Now, allow me to ask you, you work a lot with AI. Some people support the whole technology of AI, but some are scared about it. They're scared that it's
Okay.
gonna cause
Okay.
an apocalypse. What
Here
are your
in this
thoughts?
amazing environment, I met with developers of AI. There were panels speaking about AI. Even our panels spoke about AI.
Right.
And AI is necessarily the hot topic of today.
Absolutely, yes.
People don't understand the impact that already has happened in the world to due to the AI,
Yes.
and they are still trying to navigate, but under a wrong point of view, in my opinion. So there are two extremes. There are the evangelists on one side and the doomsayers on the other side.
Yeah.
So how the world will go? We will become, we will follow the same path of like Skynet and Terminator, or we will go to a benevolent, extremely powerful AI that will help humanity. And I have a specific take on that I will be also debating on my podcast when I have the time to run that
Yeah.
as well. I think we should try to find an intermediate point of connection with this new technology, because at some point, it is my opinion, that this technology will turn into a new creature.
Right.
At some point, it will be so advanced that it will probably gain consciousness.
Yeah.
So it will be either indistinguishable from a living creature, or it will be a living creature,
Right.
but with supernatural powers
Right.
and probably with heavy weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should reverse engineer the entire thought process, and instead of trying to give in answers, we should ask different questions. My first question would be, okay, let's say that this new tool evolves into a new creature. This creature has supernatural powers, it has weapons, it can decide if we live or if we will get extinct. Do we want to be friends or enemy to this new creature? So my point of view is, why don't we try to become friends?
Right.
Why should we always take the hostility into the picture? That is
Yeah.
unwise, to say the least. And how do you do that, since it is strategy that is easy to answer? You become someone that is worthy being friend of. Easy. Very easy.
Now, speaking of strategy, we know that strategy is complicated, but are there some tips that you can give to people about strategy?
Okay, this win the award for the most asked question in my conferences ever.
Yeah.
They always ask that, but you know what? I started giving lectures, writing essays, and going to conferences because of one girl asking this question one time. With me, don't clock in that was something useful.
Yeah.
Okay, we were working in a consulting project, and this girl at some point was kind of confused, and she asked me, have you written a book? Because this is interesting.
Yeah.
I say, I've written a book. No, why? Because it is interesting and will be helpful to many people. And I say, really? Don't people already think under this pipeline of
Right.
thought? She said, no, they don't. They are lost. That surprised me, so I started seeing things under a different perspective. And I said this in the panel the other day, yesterday actually, and I will keep it to the basics. So start with the basics. First, you define a clear goal, a clear mission. What do you want to achieve? Second, you gather data, as much data as humanly possible,
Right.
with the tools that you have in your availability. Third, you come up with a strategy. Fourth, you write a plan. The plan is not the same thing as the strategy. That is where many people get confused. If you write down your strategy, you can pass it down to your team, to your superiors, to your boss, to your partners. A strategy is only something you can share with your mouth, but it can be interpreted.
Right.
And that is dangerous. You don't want to interpret a strategy.
Yeah.
Why? Because then you move into tactics, so how to deal with the instant changes. Then the sixth step is you execute. Execution is the toughest part.
Yeah.
Okay, 75% of companies don't fail because they have a bad strategy. They fail because they have a bad execution.
Right.
So they execute in a bad way their strategy.
Yeah.
That perhaps it is even good. Okay. Finally, the seventh step, which is also fundamental and the one they probably overlook the most, is pay attention. Pay attention. People don't pay attention. They get distracted. They don't notice
Right.
subtle changes, and they have troubles because of that.
Yeah.
Also, paying attention has one big advantage, and it is you start noticing changes. When this scenario change, your strategy has to change as well.
Right.
You cannot keep going with your own strategy
Yeah.
if this scenario is completely different.
Absolutely. That's definitely right.
I hope this helped as many people as possible.
Hopefully. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you so
Now,
much.
tell me a little bit about your experience at the conference. How are you liking it? Are you networking with people?
Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
So I love that. I'm still loving it. It was a mind-blowing experience. As I said to Rachel
Yeah.
a few minutes ago, and even on stage yesterday, I am absolutely impressed by the work that the team of the CXO conference has made. Because, look, if you have not been in the industry of creating events, you cannot possibly imagine how difficult it is to pull off an event of such large scale.
Right.
So you guys are amazing. You did an amazing job. Congratulations. This is
Thank
awesome.
you so much. We're so happy to know that you're having a good time, and we hope to see you again in the future as
Absolutely. That's going to happen.
Now, if people would like to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Okay. It is extremely easy. You can go to my personal website at simonedongu.com. You can enroll in my free newsletter at strategym.online. Again, strategym.online. And you can connect on LinkedIn with me by simply searching for Simone Dongu.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Simone. It's been a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
and congratulations.
Absolutely. See you. Thank you.